All right, let's dive into Blue Highways.
Okay.
It's a travelogue by William Least Heatmoon, and he takes us on this journey across America
Yeah.
on the back roads.
Right.
And it's spring of 1978,
Interesting.
before the internet,
Yeah.
before cell phones.
Right.
And you know when you got lost back then?
Oh, yeah.
You really got lost.
Yeah.
And Heatmoon is at this point in his life where he's facing some personal upheaval.
Okay.
And so he sets off on this journey to explore the country,
Yeah.
but also himself.
Okay.
It's like a journey of self-discovery.
I see.
One of the things that I found really fascinating is how Heatmoon intentionally chooses these blue highways,
Yeah.
the smaller, less traveled roads
Right.
instead of the interstates.
Okay.
And that decision to bypass the fast lane,
Yeah.
both literally and metaphorically,
Right.
really becomes central to the whole journey.
It's like he's intentionally seeking out the overlooked purpose of America.
Exactly.
The forgotten corners.
Well-
The places that most people just speed past.
He wants to experience the heart of the country,
Right.
not just the well-worn paths.
Yeah. I can see that.
And in doing so, he encounters a side of America that many might miss. The small towns,
Yeah.
the unique characters,
Right.
the stories that are hidden beneath the surface of everyday life.
I see.
And he finds these stories in places like Dime Box, Texas, or Scratch Ankle, Alabama.
Wow. Those names are amazing.
I know.
They really evoke a sense of individuality,
Yes,
a departure from the uniformity of the big cities.
absolutely.
It's like these towns themselves are characters in the story.
Yes, and they become more than just locations on a map.
Mm-hmm.
They represent a way of life,
Right.
slower pace,
Yeah.
a sense of community.
Okay.
And he really delves into that.
Interesting.
In Nameless, Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
he meets Madison Wheeler,
Okay.
and they talk about how the landscape is changing
Mm.
and the struggle of small farms to survive even
Yeah.
back then.
Right.
There was this sense of a vanishing America,
Yeah.
this way of life being lost.
I see.
So it touches upon that tension
That's interesting.
between tradition and modernity
Mm-hmm.
and the impact of the outside world on these small communities.
Right.
And it's not just the physical landscape that's changing.
Okay.
He also really gets into the lives of the people he meets.
Yeah.
For instance, in Darlington, South Carolina,
Mm.
he describes this place called the Deluxe Cafe.
Okay.
It has eclectic decor, and this waitress, Brenda, who just seems to embody the spirit of a bygone era.
It's like a snapshot of a simpler time.
Yes?
A place where people gather for connection.
Yes.
Not just for a quick meal.
It's that sense of community
Right.
where everyone knows your name.
Exactly.
And I think that's something that Heatmoon himself is seeking on this journey.
I can see that.
Because remember, he's at a personal crossroads himself,
Right.
dealing with a divorce and job loss.
Yeah.
So for him, this journey becomes a way to process those personal upheavals.
It's like the open road becomes a space for reflection, for him to confront his own internal landscape as he's encountering all these external landscapes.
I like that.
Off of there.
It's interesting how even his chosen name, Least Heatmoon,
Yeah.
reflects this search for identity.
It's like he's shedding his old identity,
Yeah.
embracing the unknown, letting the journey shape who he's becoming.
It's not just observing.
Right.
He's engaging.
Mm-hmm.
He's having these conversations
Yes.
that delve into local history, personal philosophies.
Okay.
And these conversations become more than just small talk.
Right.
They're these windows into the lives and perspectives of people he might never have encountered otherwise.
Fascinating.
He has this chilling conversation with a man who always carries a bullet in his pocket.
Wow.
It reveals a certain fatalism
Yeah.
that you find in some corners of America.
Right.
And then in Selma, Alabama, he meets James Walker and Charles Davis. And they really open his eyes to the complexities of racial dynamics.
It's a reminder that he's not shying away from the difficult truths
Exactly.
that exist beneath the surface.
He's not romanticizing it.
right.
He's trying to present a nuanced picture of the country, acknowledging both its beauty and its struggles.
I see.
And his travels aren't about clinging to the past,
Okay.
but about understanding the complexities of the present.
That makes sense.
There's this memorable character,
Okay.
a Canadian grandmother who goes to Reno every year
Wow.
to gamble.
Mhm.
And after years of losing, she finally wins big.
Huh, interesting.
And it raises all these questions about fate and chance
Yeah.
and perseverance.
Right.
It's like a metaphor for life itself.
It seems like all these encounters are like brushstrokes on a canvas, each one contributing to this larger portrait of America.
Yeah.
And the blue highways themselves are the threads that connect it all.
Absolutely.
They represent a different way of experiencing the country, a slower, more deliberate way.
Slower.
One that's more attuned to the rhythms of life outside the fast lane.
That's where the real significance of his journey lies.
It's about rediscovering a connection to the land, to the people,
Yes.
and ultimately to oneself.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful journeys are the ones that take us off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And lead us to unexpected destinations.
Absolutely.
And speaking of unexpected destinations, one that really stands out is his visit to a Trappist monastery in Georgia.
Monastery.
Yeah, it might seem a little out of place
Right?
in a book about small-town America, but it plays a crucial role in his journey of self-discovery.
I see.
It's a stark contrast to the rest of his journey.
Right.
He goes from the bustle of roadside diners
Yeah.
and conversations with locals to this quiet, contemplative space
Interesting.
of a monastic life.
It shows his openness
Yes.
to different experiences.
Exactly.
He's not just looking for one specific type of America.
Right.
He's embracing the diversity of experiences,
Absolutely.
the different ways of life, different
Right.
philosophies,
Yes.
different perspectives.
And it's within this quiet space, surrounded by these monks
Right.
who've dedicated their lives to silence and prayer,
Okay.
that Heat Moon really confronts his own internal struggles
I see.
and questions about life. The monastery becomes a place of introspection,
Right.
a pause in the constant motion of his journey,
Yeah.
allowing him to reflect
Okay.
on all the people he's met and the experiences he's had.
It's fascinating how he approaches this encounter with a mix of curiosity and humor.
I know he even jokes about expecting them to try and convert him or sell him an indulgence or something.
But instead, he finds them to be surprisingly down to earth, talking about baseball and enjoying their hot dogs like anyone else.
It challenges his preconceived notions about monastic life and reveals that humanity that connects us all, regardless of our beliefs or backgrounds.
It underscores that theme of looking beyond the surface.
Yes.
Finding the common threads that unite us.
Exactly.
Even in the face of apparent differences.
And that openness to different perspectives
Right.
becomes crucial
Yeah.
as he continues his journey, meeting all sorts of people from all walks of life who share their stories and shape his understanding of America.
It's that willingness to listen to learn.
Yes.
To embrace the diversity of human experience.
That's what makes Blue Highways such a compelling and insightful read.
Absolutely.
It reminds us that true understanding comes from venturing beyond our comfort zones and engaging with the world in all its complexity.
And beauty.
Yes.
I like that.
And its beauty.
Yeah. It's really interesting how he contrasts those blue highways with the interstates.
Yeah.
You know, he describes the interstates as being very sterile, isolating, like conduits that just whisk you from one point to the next without really letting you experience anything in between.
It's like he's saying the interstates represent a certain mindset.
Yeah.
You know, there's focus on efficiency and speed, but at the expense of connection and genuine experience.
Exactly.
Like we're always in a rush to get somewhere.
Yeah.
But we're missing out on what's right in front of us.
And he argues that this extends beyond just travel.
Right.
It's a reflection of a broader societal shift towards instant gratification and a detachment from the physical world.
So Blue Highways becomes more than just a travelogue.
Right.
It's also like a critique of modern life.
Yes.
A call to slow down and rediscover the beauty of the journey itself.
Absolutely.
But really savor those moments along the way.
He's advocating for a more mindful way of living, one that values connection, observation, and the exploration of those things that we often overlook.
This reminds me of that passage where he describes seeing a sign.
Oh, yeah.
In Plymouth, North Carolina.
Okay.
That said, diesel fuel and oysters in season.
That's great.
It's such a funny juxtaposition.
Yeah.
But it perfectly captures that serendipitous nature of traveling those back roads.
Right. You never know what you're going to find.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that the most memorable experiences often happen when we least expect them.
And those experiences so often come from genuine human connection.
Absolutely.
Like his conversations with the Hammonds.
Oh, Oh, yeah, the couple building the boat in their
Yes.
backyard.
Piece by piece.
What a great story.
I know their story just embodies those hopes and dreams that exist in these small towns. It's a reminder that even in the most ordinary places, there are these extraordinary stories just waiting to be told.
And their dream of finishing their boat.
The bluebill.
Yes, the bluebill.
And sailing away.
Oh,
It also reflects this yearning for something beyond the everyday, a desire to break free from routine and explore the unknown.
Which resonates with Heat Moon's own journey as well.
Exactly. He's also seeking a break from the ordinary. A chance to redefine himself. And find meaning in the face of all this personal upheaval.
And their story is just one of many. He talks to farmers, waitresses, mechanics.
All walks of life.
Each encounter adding another layer to his understanding of America.
It's like he's weaving together this tapestry of voices and perspectives.
That goes beyond just the superficial.
Right. It's about getting a real sense of place.
He's saying that to truly understand a place, you have to listen to the stories of the people who live there.
And through those conversations, he reveals the complexities of rural America.
The hardships, the tensions.
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from those darker aspects.
But he also celebrates the resilience.
Yes.
The resourcefulness.
Of the people he meets.
Right.
And that's what makes the book so powerful.
It's an honest exploration of the human condition.
It's not just nostalgia.
No.
It's about the challenges we face and the connections that bind us.
And that idea of getting lost.
Yeah.
It seems so central to his whole philosophy.
It's not just about physical disorientation.
No.
It's about shedding those preconceived notions, challenging assumptions.
Being open to new ways of seeing the world.
Embracing the journey as a process of self-discovery.
Exactly.
And that's a journey we can all embark on, whether we literally travel or not.
It's about cultivating that sense of curiosity, that willingness to step outside our comfort zones.
And to believe that there's always more to learn and experience.
Blue Highways serves as a reminder that the most meaningful journeys are often the ones that lead us inward, towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world.
And this journey of self-discovery is often intertwined with rediscovering our connection to the land, to those places and spaces
that shape who we are.
He seems to suggest that by slowing down, taking the time to observe, to listen to the stories held within the landscape, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the world around us.
He's encouraging us to see the beauty in the ordinary, the wonder in the everyday, the interconnectedness of all things.
And in a world that often feels so fragmented and fast-paced, Blue Highways offers this antidote, a call to reconnect with ourselves, with each other, and with the natural world.
It's a reminder that true fulfillment comes not from reaching a destination, but from embracing the journey itself. And that journey doesn't have to be some big cross-country trip. It can be as simple as like taking a walk in your neighborhood. Just paying attention to the things you might normally miss.
It's about really looking at things with fresh eyes, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
Yeah, he challenges us to be more attentive observers, to look for the stories that are hidden right there in front of us.
He talks about how those blue highways, those back roads, are disappearing as interstates and development kind of take over.
I think it points to this worry about losing those unique qualities that make different regions special. It's like we're losing that sense of place.
Like we're sacrificing it all for the sake of convenience.
Deficiency. And that loss, it's not just about the physical landscape either. It's also about our own internal landscapes. You know, our unique perspectives and experiences. They can get lost in all the noise and distractions.
So how do we even preserve that spirit of the blue highways?
Good question.
Even as the actual roads might be fading away.
I think it takes a conscious effort to slow down, unplug, reconnect with what really matters.
It's about choosing experiences that are authentic. Supporting local businesses.
Appreciating the diversity around us.
It's about stepping off the beaten path.
Literally and figuratively.
Choosing a more mindful way of life.
And realizing those blue highways, they're also within us.
I like
those unexplored parts of ourselves that lead to self-discovery.
As we wrap up our deep dive into Blue Highways, I want to leave our listeners with a thought. What are the blue highways in your own life?
What are those paths that are calling you?
to venture out and explore the unknown.
Maybe it's picking up an old hobby or a relationship you've been neglecting or a creative pursuit that you put on hold. Whatever it may be, I encourage you to really take his advice.
Yeah. Look for yourself.
Don't just accept things as they are.
Go out and find your own truths, your own experience.